Why is it that some people can do so well in their business financially and just do well in their career, but when it comes to applying that same consistency to their health and fitness and personal development, they just can't crack it? Why is it? And I'm going to break it down today in this video using some models that I've recently learned about, some ones that I've been inspired by, and frameworks that I've created as a result of some of the stuff that I've learned, and essentially stuff that you can do today that I've recently practiced and had clients go through that works. It really, really works. But it's really important that we understand the models and the thought process, because that's what it is, guys. It's all mindset. But before we get stuck into that, my name's Kristian. I'm the founder of Ready for Anything, a coaching program for high performers and entrepreneurs that want to go all the way. They want to get 100%, 10 out of 10 across the board, not 20% here, 100% there. They just want to learn how to go full circle and be the person they've never been able to actually crack it as. And before we get stuck into this, please make sure that you've hit subscribe to the channel. That's the one thing that I ask. So let's get stuck into it. It's very important to understand, firstly, how we make decisions when it comes to money and finances, so how we actually invest, because let's be honest, guys, that's what it is. It's not just about investing. I'm doing S&P 500 or I'm investing into property. Wherever you invest your time, so if you commit to a career, you're investing time and energy into that and valuable resources, your life, so that you can then make money. Investing isn't just, oh, I do property or I invest into cryptocurrency. That's like a level 5 version of investing. Investing is wherever you put your focus and energy so that you can yield a return. Investing in coaching, investing in upskilling yourself, investing into learning skills that you do not have, learning how to become more confident, more driven, more mentally stable. This is forms of investing in yourself, but everyone just looks at it as an actual physical thing. So let's start off first. So essentially there's 3 paradigms that we make decisions from when it comes to money, and I'm going to break you through each one. So the first one is security. This is a given, and it's the one that for a lot of people they're making this decision from, aren't they? Like, they want to have stability, they want to have a pension. I recently joked about how when I was at school and I was like 15 years old, there was kids talking about jobs for life and pensions. So it's pretty fair to say that most of society, when it comes to investing money, making decisions, they think about this one here, security. The next one is comfort. So obviously comfort is like having a nice home, eating nice food, going on nice holidays. So these are the things that are going to give you that. Having a nice car, making sure that you've got niceties and amenities like having a really nice phone, iPads, computers, having the best stuff, nice clothes. This is comfort. This is the second place to make decisions from. And the last one is actually wealth, right? Now these aren't in any particular order, but I'm going to explain the sort of hierarchy of needs that most human beings do, right? So when it comes to decisions, and obviously wealth being the last one, so like I spoke about before, a lot of people cannot see the value in investing in information because they're like, it's just information. But what you actually find, someone that's doing really well in their career or really well financially, they actually understand that. They understand that if they do the work in their 20s and their 30s, they're going to have more freedom in the future. They understand if they actually put money into other things that may seem like they're going down the way, they actually start to think about, right, no, but in the future, that's going to allow me to be this person, think that way. I go and work with this mentor for the next year, that's going to allow me to develop my sales skills, that's going to allow me to become more confident, more driven, it's going to allow me to think differently. Whereas someone that doesn't do as much in life doesn't think like that. They do not think long term, they do not think delayed gratification, they think about security and comfort. Now, what I want you to understand with this, guys, is that every decision we make them from these 3 areas. However, people that is not, in my opinion, financially stable, prioritize this one first, this one second, and this one third. However, people that are actually very wealthy, doing very well in their career, very well financially, do it the opposite way around. They think about this one first, this one second, and this one last. But the big thing that a lot of people do not realize is that they're actually not really making decisions from security. They're actually making it from scarcity, if I can spell that. Scarcity. Writing backwards, so dyslexic. So we need to almost score that one out and understand that depending on where you're from, depending on who your family is, depending on what your upbringing is like around money, you're probably, because this is why most people do this, going to make decisions for a place of scarcity. So we speak to so many people that think about investing into the program, they think about being coached, and then they get to that point where they get buyer's remorse. It's maybe on the call, it's maybe afterwards, they maybe go and speak to their partner, and all of a sudden they start talking about things. oh, what about my car? And I'm thinking about getting my kitchen done next year. And what you can actually see when people are saying this is that they're completely overlooking this one down the bottom, the wealth, the success, the delayed gratification, the skills that they're going to gain, who they're going to become in the process. And what they start thinking about is scarcity, the what ifs. Oh, if I do that, then I won't be able to do this. And then they start thinking about this one, and I've got a big holiday coming up, and I'm going to get an extension on my house. Guys, this is all comfort. And so many folk do not realise when it comes to money, this is the hierarchy. Whereas someone that's doing better in life, someone that's earning more money, has understood the ability to chew glass. They've maybe put this one, they've completely removed that one out the window. They've become risk adverse. They've just went, you know what? I'm going to completely change my entire narrative when it comes to taking action on my goals. I'm just going to understand that most folk that do really well financially just take more action and more risk in their life. And I'm just going to put that one in the back burner and forget about it and understand that I'm figuring shit out in my 20s and 30s. And then they also, they enjoy comfort, they enjoy nice things. Like I enjoy being in a nice villa, I enjoy flying to different destinations, eating nice food. But I always remember back to when I was at school, and I didn't come from a really affluent background. I came from working class. Mum and Dad lived in a nice home. We lived in a private estate. Everyone called it the private houses when I was at school. But Mum and Dad weren't made of money. They were working class people. My dad was an aircraft engineer for Spirit Aerosystems, and my mum worked to Marks and Spencer's. They probably had a very mediocre sort of income, but they weren't in that sort of lower tier. They were able to actually take us on nice holidays. But what I always found is when I was at school, I didn't have the best clobber. I didn't have the most money for my lunch. And the funny thing was, the kids from the areas that were classed as poorer areas, the council estates, the lower income areas, maybe their parents were on benefits, had better clothes than me. They had better clothes than me. I always remember, if anyone's from Scotland or the UK, they had Bergosses and Merapeaks. These were really, really popular jackets. It was a £250 jacket, and there was people from the local council estates, most of them had that jacket. So what does that tell you, guys? It tells you that people will prioritise comfort over delayed gratification. And what I'm explaining to you, this model that I'm explaining to you right now, is actually money mindset. And people just do not understand that whatsoever. So we can start to see here that the people that become more successful financially in life, and hear what I'm saying here, successful financially, like success doesn't equal financials. Success is whatever you want it to be, but in this sense right here, I'm talking about financials. People understand that if they become more risk averse, like they stop thinking about risk and they start taking action, and they actually prioritize future development over comfort and security, they will do more in their life. Whereas so many people, depending on where you're from, your upbringing, your family, you'll put that one in the back burner, you won't think about the future, and you'll just be in this scarcity point, and this is where so many people go to as well. So that is the model, the finance model, why some people can do really well, because they understand this, and before you know it, these people are getting into their 30s, their 40s, they're achieving a higher level of financial freedom, they've got a fantastic mindset when it comes to money. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be successful in your health and fitness. That means that you're going to be successful in your career. That means that you're going to have known the right levers to pull versus the other person, right? But on a complete hypothetical world, someone might have thought that other way, but when it comes to their health and fitness, they may have cracked it. So this is an actual model that I studied recently, and I found it very, very interesting. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. It's really important that we understand this side first before we actually dive into the fitness and personal development. So this is the second chapter here, right? So this is actually the framework that I created based on the model here. So essentially, when it comes to people improving themselves, developing themselves, especially when it comes to health and fitness, in my opinion, after 8.5 years of coaching well over 1,000 people, I think this is a pretty good stab in the dark. This is what people do it for. They do it for 3 reasons: appearance, how you look, how you're perceived, your significance in the world, and essentially how you look, right? Whatever. The next one is capability. So to be mobile, to have essentially the ability to be someone that's a great influence for your kids, that is a great influence for your friend, someone that can actually turn up and handle themselves, someone that can be very fit and strong and dependable. That's capability. So obviously that's very important to people as well. And then longevity. So longevity, starting to think about, right, I need to look after my joints and my bones here. I need to be thinking about my quality of life as I get older. Now, you'll be able to understand these. Now, what is no different to the first model that I showed you is that people prioritize these in this exact order: 1, 2, and 3. So they prioritize appearance first, capability second, and longevity last. And what's actually quite ironic is that once you start to get into your 30s, it kind of flips around the other way. But people who do very well with their health and fitness, have a very good relationship with themselves, have a very good understanding of themselves, actually understand it, they look at it the other way, same as a successful person financially, right? They look at longevity first, capability second, and appearance last, because they know if they take care of these two, that one will sort itself out. The exact same as this one here. If you focus on delayed gratification, long-term thinking, the other two will figure themselves out. It's no different to this here. The biggest thing I didn't actually mention here, guys, is they don't have to be in a front and reverse order. It could be capability first. It could be longevity second. It could be appearance last. It could be appearance first, longevity second, capability last. Same in this region as well. And if you're at different chapters of your life, it's going to change and fluctuate depending on that as well. So the biggest thing breaking this down here is we understand that this is what most people prioritize, isn't it? Like when I get into health and fitness and to improve myself, it's because I wanted to look better. I wanted to be someone that was recognized. I wanted to have a bit of significance. That's why most people do it. Unless you were brought up as a high performing athlete, that's probably going to be your main focus. So for a lot of people, it's going to be this one or this one for getting started. And if someone maybe gets into health and fitness later on in their life, it's probably going to be this one that gets prioritized as well. So as I said, these change as you evolve. So I hope this really breaks down the understanding and psychology behind why we do the things that we do and why we take action. So we've got obviously finance, fitness and personal development. Now going back to the first question, why is it that some people can do so well here, but then actually if I've just shown you this model, why is it that this one here doesn't work? So I've explained this to someone. Let's say, for example, you're watching this video right now, you're a business owner, entrepreneur, someone that's doing very well in your career, you're done very well financially, and you're like nodding your head going, this makes a lot of sense. But Kristian, I don't get why. I understand this, I understand that, but this one is easy to do and this one isn't. The reason why it's easy to do is because this one isn't an option. This one is not an option. Because if you do not focus on finances, you cannot survive. Like you cannot survive whatsoever. And some people may be thinking, well, why is it that everyone isn't on the same wealth level of mindset? It's because of your upbringing. It's because of the opportunities you had. It's because of the belief system that you had. It's because of your parents. It's because of your friends. It's because of the status quo in the area that you are from. That's what's going to influence that. But in this side here, guys, which is bananas, right? And a lot of folk don't think about this, is people can still make this an option. People can still make fitness and personal development an option. How many folk go to school and then they leave school and they have this idea that learning is stopped? It's the biggest delusion ever, but we make it an option. It's just the fact that this can't be an option. And like anything, people can tolerate one more than the other. So in this example here of finance, people know that this isn't an option, but how many folk do you know that go their entire life barely ever making any money, scraping by, getting by, doing the absolute bare minimum? You can do the exact same in your health and fitness, but actually you could probably argue that you don't have to do that at all. You don't. But this is the thing, guys. If you understand and look at it through this lens here of longevity and really understand the long-term impacts of not showing up, you may be able to get away with it in your 20s and 30s, but I'm telling you, by the time you get to your 40s and 50s, if you've not respected this one here, you'll be cutting about with a walking stick. You'll have bad knees, you'll have bad hips. You'll find that your mobility is starting to catch up on you. You'll find that you're not as sharp and agile as you once were. And the reason why is because this one is imminent and this one is actually not imminent. But the funny thing is when you actually really get into fitness and personal development, you realize that this one is actually imminent. If I didn't train for the next 7 days, ate crap and barely moved and barely went outside, I would be in a horror mood. But so many folk just normalise feeling that way. They normalise not looking after themselves. And some people may be watching this and go, but I'm happy, I'm content. You cannot tell me that you're absolutely loaded. You've got thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, you're doing 5-figure, 6-figure months, and you look at yourself in the mirror when you're bent out of shape, you're not happy with what you see, you're leaving so much on the table. You cannot tell me that you look in the mirror and say that you're proud. You cannot. If you strip all this stuff back, you are all that you are left with. And I think for a lot of people that are really good at this area here will understand one thing. You want to leave a legacy. Do you want to leave a legacy of someone that just accepted that average standard of health and fitness for themselves? No, you don't. And the funny thing is people that do really well on this side, if they level up on this side, they'll do even better. And a lot of folk go, yeah, but I'm doing good right now. I'm making thousands of pounds. I'm making 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures in some examples. I was with some people at the weekend that were doing that, outrageous. And it's like, yeah, but imagine what you could do if you increased this. Imagine what you could do if you were higher performing. Imagine what you could do if you think bigger. So guys, I want you to really understand this. And I'm actually very proud of this video because I think it breaks down this advanced topic so well. So now I want to give you some actual stuff that you need to action now that you understand the psychology between finance and fitness and personal development, and actually bridge the gap right there. You have to start thinking longer term. You have to flip it on its head. You have to stop being so surface level, and you have to understand that this is your longevity and quality of life. And if you improve your quality of life, you improve everything else. The easiest way to improve the world is to improve your world. So yeah, and lastly guys, something that you can actually action. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a bit of pen and paper, get your iPad out, get your computer out, and I just want you to draw a line down the middle of the page. On the left-hand side, you're going to write down where you currently are, and on the right-hand side, you're going to write where you are going. So an example of this, I want you to think about these sort of models that I've spoken about here. I want you to talk about the gaps, right? I want you to write down a combination of things that are good, things that are bang average, things that are not good on each side, right? Obviously on this side is where we're striving to be, right? So an example right now is that you're always anticipating what may happen if you take action on the thing that you're actually trying to do. So if you're not that good when it comes to your personal development, your fitness, you're always thinking about what other people are going to say, what your friends are going to do. This is an actual mental block that you need to work on and remove, because it's not fitness that's holding you back or personal development, it's you. And the quicker you realize that your beliefs, the stories you tell yourself, the fears that you have are the only thing keeping you where you are, the quicker that you will grow. And you get this, because if you're someone that's nailed this or you're someone that's nailed this, all you need to do is crisscross it across and you understand it. It's just a mental model. It's so simple, guys. It's actually not that simple, but hopefully I've made this quite simple. So yeah, so you need to write down where you are. That may be anticipating about things, you're anxious and worried about money first thing in the day, you're anticipating problems before they've even happened, you've got a clouded mindset, you're judging other people, whatever, right? Write down all the things that you love about yourself, you don't like about yourself, and then think about the person that has everything that you want. So it's like, right, where are you going? Right? Someone that's hard to beat, someone that's relentless, someone that always has people tell them how good they're doing, someone that's reliable, someone that's dependable, someone that's ruthless when it comes to taking action on the goals. And I want you to really get clear on these two people. Then I want you to do is I want you to put this somewhere that's visible. Have it in your background of your computer screen, have it up on your whiteboard, have it somewhere visible on like a pen and notepad, or somewhere where you look at it every day. Have it as the screensaver on your phone, and just have it set down the middle. You can even create something like this using Canva, very easy to do, and just have this as a daily reminder. And then when it comes to your decisions, your choices, and everything that you do, you need to be thinking like that person of where you're going. I've been listening to a lot of Neville Goddard recently. If anyone hasn't consumed any of the content, it's absolutely fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's all about the law of assumption. It's all about you need to think and behave like the person that already has the thing that you want. Now this stuff isn't news to me, but you do get to a point, guys, where you will hit glass ceilings, you will create barriers for yourself, and it's about learning how to shatter them and think like that person that already has that thing. So guys, I hope you took a lot away from this. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm very proud of this video because I think it actually breaks down a topic that a lot of people just have a lot of barriers with, and they're very stuck with, and they're always scratching their head going, why do I find this so easy? Why do I teach this stuff in my work, but when it comes to me doing, I cannot do it? So yeah guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit subscribe to the channel. Anyway, see you later. Goodbye.